Hello, everyone. My name is Mike Moran, and I'm the author of the Believers superhero novel trilogy. We are reading in book one, chapter 25 today. So let's check it out. Let's share the screen. And here we are, chapter 25 Fun in the Sun. Welcome to Atlantis, the female tour guide announced. I hope you're ready to see and experience the most exotic island in the world. Is everybody ready? Yeah! Everyone exclaimed. Okay, we're off. Cynthia, Jerry, and his parents were riding on a tour around the island of Atlantis. They saw all kinds of people, tourists from around the globe. They were playing at the beach, going down water slides, and even interacting with strange sea creatures. On your left, we see pink lobsters, and on your right, we have purple lobsters. They come from the Indian Ocean and are nocturnal. Their unique coloration is a mystery, but aren't they gorgeous? If you look above, divers are swimming with blue manta rays. While the female tour guide continued rattling off numerous facts, Jerry became antsy and wanted to jump ship. Hey, Cynthia, I'm totally ready to get out of here and have fun. Jerry, we can't leave yet. The tour isn't over. Oh, come on. You know I could teleport us out of here in a flash, and nobody would notice, Jerry replied. What about your parents? Cynthia asked. They're right behind us. Surely they'll notice. We're here on a family vacation. We can't just ditch them. You can also take a break from using your powers this weekend. What? Oh man, I had so many cool ideas too. Really? Like what? Maybe you'll find out later, Jerry said as he grinned and winked at Cynthia. She tried keeping a straight face, but she could not resist smiling. She could not resist revealing a small smile. She loved surprises, especially when they came from him. When the tour finished, they finally went to the beach. It was a beautiful paradise with clear water, white sand, and a cool breeze. They settled under a palm tree in the sand, ate a few snacks, and built a sand castle. Surprisingly, Mr. Miller was a talented architect and designed an elaborate sand castle. Cynthia served as a great assistant, and Jerry watched while eating his favorite vanilla cream cookies. When they finished their sandcastle, it had symmetrical walls, multiple towers, two levels of elevation, and a Bahamian flag on top that he borrowed from a beach cocktail. Afterward, they all went into the water. Mrs. Miller was surprisingly talkative, discussing her job as a magazine writer, her favorite TV shows, and other things that were on her mind. Jerry and Cynthia were always busy, so Mrs. Miller wanted to take advantage of every second with them. Mr. Miller, on the other hand, took the opportunity to swim and relax on the beach. He enjoyed being with his family, but this vacation was a rare chance to relieve stress and get away from everything. Mr. Miller swam long and hard, pulling at the water with all his might. He was a beach lifeguard in his younger years, so he wanted to prove to himself that he was still in acceptable physical condition. He practiced the following swimming techniques: free stroke, backstroke, side stroke, breaststroke, and the butterfly. When Mr. Miller returned from his strenuous swim, Jerry felt antsy and ready to have fun with everyone. Are you guys ready to hit the water park? Jerry asked as he pointed to the main attraction. The tour lady said it has one of the biggest slides in the world. Are you kidding me? I'm going to take a nap, Mr. Miller said as he walked out of the water to dry off. Come on, Dad, it'll be a blast, Jerry persisted. Mrs. Miller looked at her husband expectantly and said, It is a family vacation, so let's have fun and live for the moment. Mr. Miller was shocked at her response, especially after looking at the gargantuan water slide his son mentioned. He thought his wife would make any excuse to skip that ride, but he was wrong. He agreed to go, and everyone eagerly began gathering up their belongings. They took a pit stop at their hotel room, dropped everything off, and caught a shuttle ride to the water park. On entering, everything seemed bigger than life. Countless water slides twisted and spun throughout the park. Hundreds of tourists were floating on rafts or walking from one ride to the next. Adults and children screaming, laughing, splashing into unknown depths created an atmosphere that was overwhelmingly joyful and impossible to resist. Cynthia and the Miller family quickly joined in on the fun. Each ride revealed just how comical and cowardly Jerry and his father were. They screamed louder than everyone as they rushed down wild water slides. Cynthia and Mrs. Miller would have sworn the boys were kidding around had they not seen the genuine fear and excitement in their eyes. The girls started teasing them by saying, "Put your hands in the air! Stop being sissies!" The boys took it for a while until the girls went on the bathroom. When the girls came out, Jerry issued a final challenge. "Everyone, take a look over there," Jerry announced. "You see that mammoth-sized water ride? You see how tall and scary it is? Well, guess what? I'm going on it right now. Who's coming with me?" Jerry's parents looked at each other, as if agreeing silently, and shook their heads. Then they looked at Cynthia, who was dreading the idea of going on that ride. She looked at Jerry and said, "Are you trying to kill me? That slide would give me a heart attack." "There's no way I'm leaving without doing it at least once," Jerry replied. "I'm not stopping you, Jerry. Go right ahead." "Come on, Cynthia. You gotta come with me." "No way. Not gonna happen," Cynthia answered, shaking her head. "Are you sure? I have an ace up my sleeve." "What are you talking about?" "You know what I'm talking about. Don't make me say it," Jerry teased playfully. "You wouldn't." "Last chance. Don't do it, Jerry," Cynthia warned. "Sorry, Cynthia. You leave me no choice. If you love me, you'll join me on this water slide." "That's not fair." "Aha! Of course it is," Jerry replied. "I bet my parents went on wild adventures together when they were younger, right, Mom?" Jerry looked at his mom, and she seemed caught by surprise. She did not want to interfere in their conversation, but she could not lie and said, "I did join your father a few times for things I never wanted to do, and they turned out to be great, like that time when—" Mrs. Miller began nostalgically reminiscing about her younger years with her husband. After listening to her story, Cynthia looked defeated and said, "Fine, but you owe me big time for this. I'm getting you back tonight for sure." Jerry smiled, took Cynthia's hand, and they walked into the main attraction together. Once inside, they reached a waiting line with numerous ramps and stairs to climb. However, the 45-minute wait flew by as Jerry and Cynthia watched sea creatures and divers climb swimming together. Manta rays with wide wingspans were gliding along the aquarium glass, with divers following closely, waving their hands at the audience and lightly touching the backs and bellies of the manta rays. 10-foot-long eels slowly slithered out of colorful rocks and other hiding places. Piranhas were swimming in packs, and when food floated down, an eating frenzy ensued, turning the area into a cloud of chaos. When the food disappeared, the piranhas continued swimming along as if nothing had happened. There were also multicolored lobsters and exotic fish, but all of that paled in comparison to the deadly sharks calmly swimming around toward the end of the waiting line. Seeing them gave Cynthia cold feet, and she asked Jerry, "Are you sure you want to do this, Jerry?" "Of course, we're almost there," Jerry exclaimed. "I can already see the entrance to the slide." "Those sharks look a bit hungry, don't you think?" Cynthia asked, hoping Jerry would change his mind. "Yes, Cynthia, I'm sure they're all waiting to eat you." "Don't say that! I'm already scared enough as it is." "Okay, you know I'm joking. Anyway, we're up next. Ladies first," Jerry said with a grin. "Are you kidding me? No way." "That's right. I'm a true gentleman. You're up first, Cynthia. Good luck." Jerry helped her forward by pushing her to the ride attendant, standing next to a black hole. It was ominous and frightening to Cynthia, but she had no choice. She had promised to go, and there was no turning back now. Cynthia looked again at Jared, stuck her tongue out at him, took a deep breath, and dove into the black hole feet first. For the next 30 seconds, everyone heard loud screams echoing throughout the ride. Jerry laughed and thought to himself, I bet she's going to kill me tonight. The ride attendant gave Jerry the signal to go, and he bravely dove into the hole head first. Jerry could hear the ride attendant screaming at him as he slid downward. People are not supposed to go head first because it is dangerous. Jerry did not understand why until he began swallowing lots of water. He also spun around and rolled repeatedly. Eventually, he managed to reposition himself on his back and saw flashing lights and aquariums flying by. Then he saw the big drop. Butterflies swiftly swarmed inside Jerry's stomach until sunlight gleamed in his eyes. His face instantly lit up with happiness, and he screamed with excitement, blasting downward like a torpedo. He soon made a great splash into the open pool, and then climbed out with an even bigger smile. Cynthia and his parents were waiting for him. They all exchanged greetings, questions, and remarks about the awesome time they had at the water park. They took a shuttle ride back to their hotel, but Cynthia could not stop smiling. She was deviously plotting her sweet revenge against Jerry, thinking of every possible way to get back at him that evening. Jerry could feel her emotions, and he was both excited and scared. That's it. That's the end of the chapter. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope to see you all for the next video. Thank you so much.